Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Mercer campus, our beautiful campus, this great building, the University Center. We gather in front of these stained glass walls again for another very special event. We've had many here, and tonight is going to be special indeed as we gather for a couple of things. Now, don't forget, after the news conference, I know everybody's excited to meet Coach Jacobs, but don't forget we've got a very important basketball game down on the floor of Hawkins Arena. Guys are coming off a big win at UNC Greensboro on Saturday night. And our old foe, ETSU, is in the house. And I can tell you from experience, when we go to Johnson City, those guys really get on our players really well. So we need everybody to go downstairs and help the guys get a win here tonight in conference play. Well, everyone here is special. You all are. You're Mercer folks. That makes you very special. But I do want to take note of just a couple of folks that are here. Tom Bishop, chairman of our Board of Trustees, is here this evening. Mr. Bishop, so glad to have you. I know Charlie Cantrell is here. Are there any other members of our Board of Trustees present this evening? We do thank you, Mr. Bishop, coming down and being with us. We have great leadership. Our president, our Board of Trustees that we lean on, they do a wonderful job. I've been at Mercer a long, long time, and it's always great to work with folks who care what you do and do it very well. Well, what a great day to be a Mercer Bear. The last couple of weeks, probably many of you have asked each other, have you met the new coach? Have you met the new coach? Well, I've been asked that as well. And if you did, it was probably something like this, because he's here one spot, gone another. He's hit the ground running as we expected him to do. If you're a Mercer fan, and all of you are, we tasted the playoffs last year. It was a good feeling. We want to go back. We want to go and do it even more. And I have to admit, I think our selection committee did a wonderful job in a short amount of time of bringing a man to our campus and our field house and our football program that can lead us to great things in the future. I do want to point out, if you look at the new coach's resume, and I'm not going to take Mr. Cole's thunder, Jim's going to give all the accolades about our new coach, but when you're on the elite company list of college football head coaches, and only 5 of the nation's top active D1 and D2 coaches have a higher winning percentage than our new head coach, that 81.3% winning sounds pretty darn good. Will you agree? Having said that, the committee worked hard in bringing him here, and I'm not going to steal any more of Jim Cole's thunder. Please welcome our Director of Athletics, Jim Cole.
Yeah, thank you. Rick, thank you so much. And I look around the room and I see some great faces and some friendly faces. And Coach, I think you saw in the interview process that Mercer's passionate about where we want to go. We're passionate about the support we have here. A lot of faces in here are going to support you in that journey. I know all of them are, but others at varying degrees. So thank you so much. I got a lot of thanks. I know brevity is a very good quality to have in writing and speaking. But I do have a lot of people to thank. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the process so that you'll know how we came to getting our new coach that we feel great about. But I want to start off by first saying that I am truly grateful to Dr. Bill Underwood and his executive staff, our Board of Trustees, for the generosity that they provide the athletic department to have first-class facilities, to have the resources to conduct a national search. So Bill and your team, that does not go unnoticed. I want to say, and if you don't mind, let's all thank them for what they do. So as you can imagine, we came off the high of making the playoffs. We go to South Dakota State, and we kind of looked the beast in the eye, the team that we had to get past. And we came back and we started planning for it. But, when you have success, people notice. So, listen, we lost a good coach to Navy. Drew he gave us all he had every day he was here. So we wish him the best. But that day when he made the announcement that he was going to Navy, we immediately kicked into high gear. And you got to imagine now, we were not in the most opportune time to be hiring a coach. But I disagreed because it was the only coaching job in Division I that was available at the time. Until later that day when Alabama announced that Nick Saban was leaving. So we shared the spotlight for a short while. But as you notice, the process is quick nowadays. Back when I first got here, Dr. Underwood, do you remember a search would take 3 to 4 weeks? But nowadays, as you saw with Alabama, it was 1 day. The portal has sped everything up. So we kicked immediately into gear. We were able to hire a search firm, but I had 101 inquiries within 2 days about this job, from sitting FBS coaches to and assistants to Division II, Division III, NAIA. But I had to have help. I had to put a committee together just to sort through this pure number of emails and texts. So I want to recognize that committee, if you don't mind, because they were steadfast. They were there every day. We worked 12 to 14 hours a day for about 6 days in getting this done. So I want to start by Evan Barr, who's our head strength coach. Evan was on the committee. I really wanted him there because, Coach, if I had a football coach in that was not interested in strength and conditioning, he was immediately off our list. So, Evan, glad to have you on that list. Bennett Houston was our director of football ops. Bennett is somebody I trust, a true friend, somebody that I know can pick up the phone, make some calls, get me some intel. Next, we had Daniel Tate, who is a deputy AD. Once again, Daniel is in every tough decision, wears a lot of hats for us. We have Brian Garrity, who's head of our development. Once again, somebody that I can pick up the phone at night and trust with his advice and intel that he gives me. Had Sybil Blaylock. Sybil couldn't be here tonight, but Sybil's my right-hand person. And then last but not least, we had Charlie Cantrell on the committee. I trusted Charlie's judgment. I know he knows football, but I wanted Charlie in the room because I think Charlie understands a lot about people down deep and what drives them. And listen, to be successful at Mercer, you got to be a grinder. And so that's what we were looking for. So let me tell you a little bit how we did this. So we had 4 criteria that we were looking for. We had to have a current head coach. Somebody had been in that seat before. We needed a winner. And we had some coaches that had won every other year, or they had one good year and moved on to the next job. But we scratched that and said, Charlie, we want a proven winner. And somebody that every program they touched, they took to the next level. And then last but not least, we wanted somebody who had trusted the academic process and really wanted to build character in young men so that they could take that Mercer degree and go to the next level and change wherever they may end in life. So we had 12 initial Zoom interviews on Friday and Saturday. 12, 6 a day, hour and a half each. So you can imagine, I'm not a big math guy. That's about 8 hours, Coach. But to stay focused with that many candidates over 2 days really takes a lot of mental energy. The committee put that in. We met Saturday night for about another 2 hours, and we narrowed it down to 4 candidates that we wanted to bring to campus. And we started interviewing them on Monday and Tuesday. So you imagine half a day each candidate. So we stayed with it. But we told the candidates when they got to campus, we said, listen, you've already passed the test that we know you're a great person. We know you've got great references. We know that you're going to uphold the ideals of Mercer University. You're here today to tell us how we're going to win in football. So no semantics. We want to hear how you're going to build a team, how you're going to build your staff, what offense you're going to run. Are you going to dominate the line of scrimmage? Are you going to throw the ball, run the ball? We needed to know what it took to win the Southern Conference. So along that way, one candidate started standing out because they started telling you how they were going to build that team. And along the way, we started looking at his resume, 74-17 and 2 head coaching stops at Division II. 4 playoff appearances, National Coach of the Year in 2018. Best part about it, he's a lifer. His granddaddy was a coach. His daddy was an offensive coordinator at West Virginia and Ohio State. Mike, I'm envious you got to play for your dad at Ohio State. What a joy that must have been. And then play for 2 great coaches like John Cooper and Jim Tressel. Listen, he brought Lacey down. We got to know Lacey. And by the way, we got fully briefed on Luke and Knox. And I'm looking forward. Which one's Luke? All right, Knox, I'm looking forward. I've heard on game day that you are hard to hold. So I am going to personally follow you around campus on game day. But listen, and I think his mother-in-law's in town, Miss Bev McDonald. We're glad to have you. And brother, Cody. And welcome to the Mercer family. So you've heard me talk enough. I told you about the process. Coach summed it up when he made his closing remarks. He says, I'm not here to rebuild. I'm here to win. I'm here to get us through the Dakotas and the Montanas. And listen, we've had it, Dr. Underwood and I've talked about it. We really feel that we can compete for a national title at Mercer University. So without further ado, Coach Mike Jacobs, next football coach.
Good evening. How is everyone? I usually don't need a microphone. I got gym voice, but I'm gonna work my way through this. All right. What an incredible opportunity to stand before you as the 21st head coach at Mercer University. It's something that's humbling for me and my family. It's something that's exciting for a new challenge at a university that's committed at the highest level to doing things the right way to get to where they want to be. And really, again, I'll have a number of thank yous. I'll know if the music cues like the Academy Awards I've gone too long, but there's plenty of people that are the reason that I've gotten here. And first, I'd like to thank President Underwood and his vision for the program and his belief in myself and my family and the staff that we hope to put together. Director of Athletics Jim Cole, the members of the search committee, which you heard a little bit about each of them and the process. And the one thing I can tell you is that they were thorough and they were efficient in a way that I think speaks volumes about how committed they were to finding the right fit. There's plenty of winners out there that can win football games and have done it, but it takes a unique fit, it takes a unique understanding, and it takes unique characteristics to take those things and move them forward in a way that represents the university, how all of you who care so much about Mercer feel proudly of. Okay? Personally, I need to thank a bunch of folks. There's a lot of people that have poured into me in my life over the years, and they're really the reason I'm here. So I'm going to work through some of them. Jim mentioned my beautiful wife, Lacey. She's can you make it emotional before I get rolling? She's really the rock of our family. She's given up so much so I can chase my dreams. And she's brilliant at what she does in her own right. She's probably a better guidance counselor than I am a football coach. So thank you. I couldn't even make it like a minute and a half. Shoot. My boys, Luke and Knox, you heard. Luke's the teetotal and roof follower. Knox literally wears an air tag on game day. He'll be by your tailgate to sample your cookies. Just make sure he makes his way back to Grandma Bev or Miss Lacey, please, or anybody really in the football department. But they are my why, absolutely. My mother, Judy, could not be here with us tonight. And, you'll hear a lot about my dad was a coach, so tremendous influence on my life, but the reality of it is my parents were divorced, and she was a single mother that dedicated everything. So my brother and I could have the right path in life, and very, very fortunate for all that she gave to us to really give us the moral compass in the deep down things that you need to be successful. So my mom, Judy. My brother Cody's here. By happenstance, he's a Los Angeles native now, but he works in the television and film industry. He's actually going to be in town for about 5 months filming a movie in Atlanta, so kind of unique. He was able to make it into town, just got in this afternoon. I appreciate you being here, man, and making the effort. That was awesome. We mentioned my mother-in-law, Bev. She's been a big part of our family unit. She moved in to help when we had Luke 7 years ago and never left. And so she's the reason my wife and I get to have fancy date nights like going grocery shopping and doing some of those things that you don't get to do by yourself when you have 2 young children. But we appreciate everything you do, and we're grateful. A couple other people that are really important to me. You guys will learn my dad passed away at a pretty young age, but my Uncle Bill was in the strength and conditioning industry and the coaching business for a long time. He's somebody that I'm able to bounce a lot of stuff off of. Bill Legg, who some of you may be familiar with, played for my dad at West Virginia. And when my dad passed, he's really been a father figure to me, because you need people that don't just know you, but know the profession and understand the different stressors and things that we're asked to do as football coaches and leaders of young men. So I'm appreciative for Bill Legg. I'd like to thank my guy Juan Lozano and the folks at Red Envelope. Juan's the guy that took a chance on me before I had really done or proven anything, and I'm grateful for his friendship and all that he does for me and my family. Professionally, there's been people that have greatly affected my career. Scott Swain's was the athletic director at Notre Dame College. He took a chance on a guy who had never been a head coach. And, as you heard Jim talk about, that experience is invaluable. But he trusted me with the program at Notre Dame College and really gave me my start in this business. And I can never repay Scott for that opportunity. The folks at Lenoir-Rhyne, Dr. Fred Witt, Kim Pate, really the entire community of Hickory is not too different from what I feel here, and that's why we were comfortable with Mercer. But I'm forever appreciative of the opportunity at Lenoir-Rhyne. John Luckhart's a gentleman I work for. He's a college football Hall of Famer. John was a longtime Division III and Division II head coach. John taught me really how to run a program, and not just a program, but an organization in a CEO-like manner, because although we pour into kids and coaching is about passion and emotion, you need to be highly detailed and highly organized, and John was all those things, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, and I'm forever grateful for the opportunity he gave me in my time at California University of Pennsylvania with him. Joe Tiller, who's a gentleman who passed away, head coach at Purdue, was an innovator. I say it all the time. The way to build programs is through talent acquisition and having a keen eye for guys that can develop and grow. And Joe was as good as anybody, and I learned more in those 3 years at Purdue than I probably have in my entire career. And I'm forever grateful for the opportunity Coach Tiller gave me. And then obviously my dad, right? He was a football coach 38 years. I had the very unique and humbling experience to play for him at Ohio State. Play is a very loose term. I was a backup and a starting long snapper, but nonetheless, I had a great experience playing for him. I also had an opportunity before his passing to coach with him, rode to work with him every day, and those two things I will never forget and I'm forever grateful for. But the thing that he taught me most was really just about how important the relationships are with the players. And, one of the greatest challenges of the head coach, different from an assistant, is the number and the depth of the relationships that you're required to have. And so my dad was brilliant at that. He was better than that at anything. And I'm grateful for how he did those things and how he led by example. And then, there's been a number of assistant coaches that I've worked with. There's a number of them that have made the journey with me, not only from Notre Dame College, but to Lenoir-Rhyne and now here on to Mercer. And I'm grateful for those men. They challenge me daily. They let me know when I'm screwing things up in a very good way. And I'm forever grateful for all that they've put in. We've come a long way since our starting time. But the real thank you in all this, and I know it's long. Brevity is not my thing on days like this. I'm sorry, Jim. But it's really the players, right? Like the players and the families at Notre Dame College. Like, I hope you guys understand, most of you don't know what that place was like, but it was a startup football program and an all-girls institution that had never played football. 80 years, all girls. They started the program. I took it over after year 4, I believe. Had only had one winning season, and we had an opportunity to go 42-8. But we didn't have nearly the resources that we had in my other 2 stops. And the belief that those young men have, and just seeing all the messages from those guys has really been special. So the guys at NDC, the Falcons, I appreciate you. And then my guys at Lenoir-Rhyne, similar to what the kids at Mercer went through here. I went through a coaching change. I went through 3 position coaching changes as a player. I went through 1 head coaching change. So I definitely understand what they've been through in the last 14, 15 days as they've been through a coaching transition. But, what those kids did at LR in our time there, dealing with COVID, and we had a death of a player, unfortunately, to push through, to persevere, to stay on it, and then to come out as a champion and a national semifinalist. Those guys are the reason that I'm here, period. So, thankful. Try to stop getting emotional. Why the Mercer job? And I think that's really important. Why I left a place that was really important to us and we fit really well. Well, fit's a thing. And in the brief time that we had to get to know the folks here, I felt a strong connection and I felt that there was a strong fit. But what stood out more than anything, because as much as they evaluate us as candidates, we're evaluating the institution and frankly the commitment from the top down, and that is here. You guys have an administration with your president, with your athletic department, with your boosters, with the community that is wanting to win at a high level, but wanting to do it the right way, and that's the big reason. Also, the academic focus, right? Like, if life's a big piece of pie, right, in your college experience, man, you got to have equal pieces of your athletic experience, your academic experience, your social experience, and then spiritually, it has to all fit. And those things all are a big piece of the Mercer community. So that was a big reason why we felt this job was a great fit for me and my family and our staff. Location. Right, the reality of it is the state of Georgia produces some of the best high school football talent in the country, and we can get to almost all of them on half a tank of gas. So the ability to attract dominant football players who can manage the academic rigor at Mercer was a huge draw for myself and my family. And it's really simple. We can do all those things that we need to do to get to where the administration and you as the fans want to be, really within a 6-hour radius of where we sit in this pavilion right now. So that was a big draw to me and my family. The community of Macon, the transformation of downtown, some of the educational system here, with the public and the private, the things to do for our young children, and the proximity to other things outside of it as we learn and grow as a family was a big deal. And then frankly, you look at anything in, is there room to make it better? I have the unique experience of taking over 2 programs from Drew Cronick, and he's done an unbelievable job of laying a foundation. Right, that'll be somebody's trivia question. Somebody will win at BW3 on that trivia answer. Who took over twice and back to back? But in all seriousness, the growth potential of this program is infinite. We are just scratching the surface of what Mercer University football can be, and we've done it in a reasonably short time. I know everyone wants an accelerated timetable, no one more than myself, I can promise you, but there's so much more that we can do and accomplish here together with that top-down vision of our academic community and our administration, and we will accomplish great things here. So that's really why we chose Mercer. How will we do it? All right? Amelia Barr is an English novelist. You didn't think that'd come out of my mouth, right, tonight? Amelia Barr is an English novelist, and it's really plainly put. She said, it's always the simple that produces the marvelous. All right, one more time. It's always the simple that produces the marvelous, right? You have to coach with no ego. You have to do it with confidence, but at the end of the day, it's really simple, and people overly complicate it. You must run to the football. You must block people. You must move them against their will. And then you must tackle. Those 3 things. That's it. And you must do them at a high level. Running, blocking, and tackling. Simple stuff, I know. Right? But again, it's the simple that produces the marvelous. We will be committed to the basics of the game, and that's how we will build a strong foundation to win the nuance of the situational football with the talented coaches and players that we'll have here at the institution. All right? I think what's important to know is not only do you have to recognize that it's the simple, right, but you have to understand that it takes a mind-numbing consistency and a buy-in to want to do those simple things over and over and over and over again until there's a mastery of them. And that'll be a big part of who we are and what our program is. Jim mentioned it earlier. I'm an offensive line guy. I've coached some D-line. But the reality of it is if we don't win the line of scrimmage, we won't get to where we want to be. I highly value the line of scrimmage. You must run the football and stop the run to win championships, both in the SoCon and in the playoffs. Our team will value that. We'll embody those characteristics that it takes to do that, right? Grit, determination, physicality, mental toughness, right? Those are all things, and those are big buzzwords, right? But they all take a daily commitment. You must earn the right to say that you have those things, and we'll do that through how we work daily as a program. We'll recruit players that understand and value a Mercer education. We'll develop them to the greatest version of themselves. We'll do that through daily investment. We'll do that through hiring coaches that are tremendous teachers first, and then have a tremendous care for them on and off the field, right? And then finally, we must retain them through their development, right? That's the thing, right? Recruit, retain, and develop. in not so much in that order, but you must develop people so they continue to move forward. When people feel like you're pouring into them, when they feel like you care about them, when they know it's true and intentional, you get the retention that you're looking for in today's portal day and age. And again, that'll be how we do it, right? That is how we will win football games. That is how we will win championships here at Mercer, okay? Finally, and again, brevity is a thing, but I hope you understand just how humbling it is to serve you folks, your community at Mercer University. We hope as a family, what you guys will see, we will be a big part of this. My family will be intimately involved in the community, both through community outreach and frankly just being present. I've already started trying to eat my way through downtown, so I'll take any restaurant recommendations as we roll through this. But we will be involved not just in the community of Macon, but we'll be involved in the Mercer community, and that's being present at other sporting events, being around and available, not just holed up in our offices over there from a football department. That just won't be me. That'll be our staff and their families as well, right? And then again, just actively involved in everything we're doing. We're blessed. We're humbled to be here. We're so appreciative of this opportunity. We recognize how important it is to have the right fit. My family and I couldn't be more blessed to be Bears. Go Bears.
Okay, I think we've got the right man. Okay, just a couple of items of business. President's dining room is located just over this area. There is a reception. Please come over. Shake Coach's hand, his family's hand. You members of the media, Daniel Tate, Todd Anderson are around that can help facilitate one-on-one interviews that you might have. One final thing before we go. If you're a member of this football coaching staff, raise your hand. The football coaching staff, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you very much for coming. Don't forget, the Bears are taking on the Bucks in about an hour. Please join us.